Bravo, man. Bravo. I was questioning having Okada versus Sanada as that main event for August 3rd, 2019's G1 Climax, but man, that was great. The whole storyline behind once they did the European uppercuts, had the exchanges, and then the announcing by Kevin Kelly, perfect, about Sanada never beating Okada, never having the number one match, never getting that win. And like having him, spoilers alert, beat Okada at the G1, costing him his perfect streak, possibly costing him what I think is going to be a loss. I don't think he's going to win the G1. They talk about how the bowling has been kind to IWGB champions winning the G1. I don't think he's going to win the G1. I think Bushi's only 2 points behind after beating Tanahashi, who, by the way, I think should have been. Before watching, I was like, why don't they have this as the main event when they're both tied to 8? Especially, I guess it's not super clear that Okada was going to win and going to sweep everybody. It was like WWE or Impact, they would have had like a whole video segment to that. But man, that was dramatic. The whole European uppercut exchange, the one hit me, you can't beat me. I felt like it was like Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13. It had the feeling of like Kenta Kobashi getting the win over Can-Am Express in HAPW. Show that he's become the new Misawa, saving Tsuyoshi. After that huge losing streak, they had a losing streak for both events, and that finally paid off. That was great. It was like a really good Bret Hart WWF style match in the '90s where he just kept putting the submission on him again and again. It was sort of like the reverse actually, because like he did the submission. He was the submission expert against Okada, and he tried to beat the other guy with submission. So it was the opposite of WrestleMania 13. I bet he did. Okada did start out that face heel turn. I wonder if they were inspired by that. They used a time limit draw in the situation. They kept all. I don't think it was really out. I don't remember if it was out of the ring, but it didn't feel like it was out of the ring. It didn't really feel like it was over Gedo or anything. There was an interference. They didn't bring. They didn't make sure that Okada was in the background. I mean, Naito was in the background to ruin the moment. They were teasing Evil and Sonata splitting up. Evil, I think, is still match quality wise the MVP of the G1, while his tag team partner Sonata, storyline wise, is probably the main event of the G1. I don't know what else they can do. They'd have a Bushi versus Okada in Block A, the block that has everything, but I feel like they can't really top that with Sonata. That was really good. The crowd was really eating it up. It felt like a WrestleMania moment, like the G1's supposed to be, or like the Royal Rumble's supposed to be. I think August 4th is Naito versus Takagi, Gedo versus Cobb, sorry, Goto versus Cobb, White versus Moxley, freaking Yano versus Ishii, Juice Robinson versus, I can't see, I think that's Taichi. Or I would like to have Kenta gotten the win too, because like that would have made it a little bit less obvious whether it was going to be Kenta or Ibushi versus Tana versus Okada later for the finals of that. Did Ibushi face? I think Ibushi probably faced Kenta already. Guess Kenta's just gonna face Chase Owens and beat him up. Last match was really good. That was a really good storyline too. Having Ospreay that close to beating Evil, the main event. Evil's only 2 points behind Kenta, which is pretty interesting. They could make a storyline out of that. A lot of near falls. Ospreay doing the Oscar to the Robinson, especially the Spanish Fly out of nowhere could have been. I would have saved it for the end of the match, and then Evil hits the everything is evil out of nowhere at the end of it. That would have been a little bit made it more 5-star-y. Albeit, I still think Evil is the G1 Climax IC champ, basically the WWF version of the IC champ. It made me think about how Evil is like the IC champ, like Chris Benoit, maybe Zack Sabre Jr. to Suzuki's Ric Flair. Same with, I don't think Evil's still a little bit younger. His match quality is great, but I don't think he's eclipsed Naito in popularity. I don't see him as a main eventer. I see him as a IC title kind of guy. I always wanted Zack Sabre Jr. and Suzuki. I just want to see him wrestle just because they're that great at wrestling. I don't think Zack Sabre Jr. is ever. Maybe because he's a foreigner, I don't know, but Kenny, maybe they're building up down the line. The fans in the U.S. talking about how Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. have all these submissions and they tag and they always try to outdo each other, but like they never. Maybe Suzuki will finally give him the reins to make Zack Sabre Gun. Ibushi versus Tanahashi. They're selling the ankle injury, seeing stomach injury. Ibushi is basically doing a new style. He's doing less high flying, doing more of the Nakamura, Kenny Omega stuff. Him versus Okada could definitely be like a 5-star match for there. This is basically all for the A Block G1, August 3rd, 2019. What are your thoughts? Like and subscribe.